This is Daniel Dalen. He went from 0 to almost 200k subscribers in just 1 year. And the crazy thing is,
but to this day, I honestly have no clue what I'm doing.
how does a random Dutch guy who speaks Chinese suddenly take over YouTube? How does one Instagram story get 200 people to show up in just 24 hours? And how does a personal brand drive millions in revenue for a business? Well, Daniel may know nothing about cameras, but he definitely is a branding genius. So I went on and binge watched all of his content, listened to all of his podcasts, and broke down every single part that contributed to Daniel's growth. How he found his unique edge to stand out from the crowd, how he intentionally built a content strategy nobody knows about, and how his content perfectly fits his ecosystem of businesses. The first thing Daniel did better than anyone else was finding his unique edge. If you look at his best performing videos, we always see the following things: China, speaking Chinese, Chinese food, team members, business partners, and friends, travel, deep work, and authenticity. In his most viral video, for example, he's ordering a coffee in Chinese within the first 30 seconds of the video.
嗨，你好，我要个卡布奇诺。
一杯卡布。
对，一杯卡布。
还有别的吗？
没有，普通的牛奶。好，谢谢。
In his second most viral vlog, he's talking with his business partner Vince on a high-rise balcony in Dubai at 5 a.m. at the start of the video. In his third most viral vlog, he's again speaking Chinese in the first minute of the video. He simply realized all the aspects that make him Daniel Dalen and used it to stand out like no other. The people around him, like Wojtek, Ruben, Vince, Sam, Jamie, Mo, Raymond, the vintage watch seller, auntie, Chinese food like dim sum and garlic noodles, travels to Hong Kong, Dubai, and Europe, 5 a.m. runs and Sheko Beach. This all builds Daniel's world and makes you a part of it. But it's not random. Daniel intentionally plans everything. There's a set of values and key ideas he keeps repeating every now and then, such as the importance of momentum.
Momentum is really everything.
The importance of people.
I so actively invest in people around me.
Coming to Dubai or Hong Kong at different stages of his life.
I've come to Dubai in so many different stages in my life.
And many, many more. He keeps these in mind so that he can repeat them every once in a while, because most people don't watch everything in full and easily forget a lot of things. This builds consistency around his brand and a structure he can hand over to his content team. But this in itself was not the only thing that made him crack content. There was another very critical choice he made that led him to growing this fast, which is his format. Daniel chose to make vlogs because it was the best way for him to showcase his uniqueness. So if you're not Daniel Dalen, don't make vlogs. That is the reason why anyone that is copying him isn't seeing results like his. Choose a format that works with you, not against you. Naval Ravikant blew up by writing philosophical tweets. Stephen Bartlett chose a podcast and built the fastest growing show. Alex Shamozy built a $1 million brand through whiteboard presentations. But Daniel didn't invent vlogging. It has been around for decades, but he still managed to revive it after it was dead. Which brings me to my second point: his signature style. Daniel's background is in design, and it truly shows in his content. Cinematic camera shots, vintage-like Instagram posts, songs from his own playlist, and even his infamous bookcase. He has really mastered making the boring look cool. He does this by capturing different shots of him working during the day, and then turns them into these dynamic match cuts. He simply figured out how to package his uniqueness in the most personal and authentic way possible. Here's the story behind the POV bandwagon.
We zaten op de bank in Dubai. Hij moest die thumbnail fixen. En hij liep te kloten, jongen, met AI. Dus op een gegeven moment zeg ik: gast, ik doe het wel. Fuck it. En ik trek die laptop van zijn schoot af. Ik maak een screen grab van een van mijn video's. Gewoon een titel van, ja, what the fuck zijn we aan het documenteren? Het is de point of view van een ondernemer met een heel uniek verhaal. En ik heb hem geüpload.
This proves that a good style won't save you if you don't have your uniqueness dialed in. Daniel probably still would have been successful if he shot on an iPhone. But he's not the only one with a good story and a good strategy. So what made the difference that made people actually connect with him? His authenticity. Daniel presents himself as an actual human being. He doesn't script his videos word for word. He doesn't hide his personality, and he shares everything, both the good and the bad. Like issues within his business.
Today, we bumped into a problem where we noticed that things were breaking down.
Personal stories.
This song that I was just listening to was played on my grandpa's funeral.
Having overslept.
12:22 right now, and I was supposed to wake up pretty early, but I ended up sleeping 13 hours. And it's been like one of those days where I know when this happens, my body just needed it.
And he also shows what he's actually working on.
So one of the things that I have been working on is creating an actual playbook for our company where we document exactly each and every single process as well as responsibility within our company.
But besides that, he's just good on camera in general. The way he speaks, for example.
It's gonna be a solid product, eh?
You're gonna teach those people exactly how you build products, eh?
We've got 3 weeks now, eh?
Got a lot of work to do, eh?
Sounds familiar, hey? This makes some people travel all the way just to meet him.
I came just from Spain all the way to here just to meet you.
You're kidding.
He actually cares about his people, and I experienced this myself. He reposted my videos I made about him. Daniel may be good on camera, but he also is a very good entrepreneur. Some people think that Daniel just makes videos, but he actually runs a multi-million-dollar portfolio of businesses. His main one is Econflow, a logistics company that helps e-commerce brands supply from China. But he also runs ElevatorGoods.com, a wider portfolio of brands and services within e-commerce. There's more though. He also runs Blank Studio, a venture studio that builds software companies within e-commerce as well. Daniel has built this large ecosystem where everything works together. It's genius. A few months ago, he launched Lens, his eyewear brand. You may ask why he would do that, so there are 2 reasons. 1, because his most asked question was where he got his glasses from, and 2, which is the actual one, to link it back to his main business, Econflow. He used his own service to ship his own product, so now his entire audience could see what it was like to work with his company. And he didn't only do it with Econflow. The design and the product development was all done by companies he either owns or has shares in. Combined with his background in software, he made this perfect combo of China, e-commerce, and code to build an 8-figure company. Maybe it's 9 figures by now. This is a massive difference between Daniel and most creators. Most creators start a business because of their content. Daniel Dalen started creating content because of his business. This way, he targeted exactly who he was looking for, even if most of his audience aren't potential customers. Not only that, but because he has a broad personal brand, he's able to launch new businesses that don't have to belong in a certain niche. Cinegrams, for example, he partnered in it with Jamie Robbins because he was using their LUTs and editing assets in his videos. But also a very important thing to mention is that Daniel never sells in his content. You never hear him say, work with us or book a call down below. He simply documents it and it already speaks for itself for the ones that are a good fit for his company. And by the way, he doesn't sell some 997 course because he already has businesses that can go way further than that. After all, content brought him more clients, more team members, better company culture, and business opportunities like Lens and Cinegrams. So if you want results like Daniel, firstly, be intentional about your strategy, choose the right format, find your own signature style, be yourself, and make content that actually fits your business. I hope you learned something new and feel free to share who I should do next. Peace.